Hello, this is episode 5, right?
Isn't it 4?
This is episode 4 of Peer Inward. My name is John Sunyo, and I'm with, well, not technically with, we're not in a relationship either. Derek
How could
Allen
you?
Gamo, how do you say your tag, your
Game
alias?
Eater.
Gamo Eater, ooey.
Derek Allen Game Eater. It's my full name.
Yeah. So, how have you been?
I've been fine. How about you, buddy?
Well, I just ate a cheese stick. No, string cheese. Stick of string cheese. Just bit on it, like a carrot. And
Nice.
then Harley, he's really quick. Harley is my schnauzer, miniature schnauzer. I know you've seen him, but he is very quick to realize, to discern what I have, what I'm holding. The moment I pulled it out of the fridge, he just ran up to me, and then I gave him some. Yeah, and I know this because when I pull other things out of the fridge, he doesn't. He's not going to want to eat milk, for example. Yeah, I just ate some cheese, got back from class. I feel like Monday evening is a good time for me to record
Hmm.
because Friday and Saturday I'm usually with Bree, and I also have my classes. And tomorrow morning I don't have to wake up too early, but for example, this morning, every Monday and Wednesday I have to wake up at around 5:30. So recording the night before isn't really that good.
Alright. I don't mind Monday.
All right. So let's just get into the news. This is probably actually, this piece of news is the biggest one I have on here. And it's Dan Houser leaving Rockstar Games on, this was from February 4th, this past Tuesday. And do you know of Dan Houser?
Not before this article, no.
Okay. So he and his brother Sam Houser, they had very established tenure at Rockstar. All the way from they've been involved with Rockstar since the beginning. So this IGN article written by Matt Kim, it says that Dan Houser is leaving, but specifically that Sam Houser is staying at the company and his position is unchanged. Which actually, this reminds me of, who was the other. So when The Last of Us was directed, Uncharted 4 was Neil Druckmann and, yeah, Bruce Straley. And this reminds me of that because Bruce Straley is no longer at Naughty Dog, but Neil Druckmann is.
Mm-hmm.
And we're having The Last of Us 2, a game led by Neil Druckmann, but no Bruce Straley. And I don't doubt that it's going to be good, but it'll be interesting to see what comes of a game without Bruce Straley, and also what comes of a game without Sam Houser or Dan Houser. I mean, a lot of these, I I feel like Rockstar games narratives,
Mm-hmm.
they really stand apart from other narratives in the medium, because it's like they're written by Hollywood screenplay writers and then adapted into a video game. Whereas what was a game you played? Far Cry?
Yeah.
Can you tell that was written to be a video game?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but we play Red Dead Redemption 2. That game it's almost movie-like.
Yeah, the cutscenes have close-ups, and I would agree.
Yeah, the cutscenes, the writing specifically, it's very mature. Not mature as in, a lack of dick jokes, but it's very adult. Yeah, I remember playing GTA San Andreas. I think, yeah, that was, no, Vice City was my first one. But, oh, you want to know something? Okay, so I was a little kid when Vice City was out. I got it on
Hmm.
PS2, the physical copy. And then you know how it has that girl in the pink bikini on the cover?
Hmm.
Or at least one of the people on the cover is the girl in the pink bikini. I
Hmm.
remember bringing it into the bathroom to,
Oh my
do
god.
something. And then when I went out of the bathroom with it, I regretted it because the steam in the bathroom made the paper underneath the plastic case, it made it all wrinkly. So I learned to never do that again.
Okay.
Yeah, that I specifically remember my Vice City game cover being all wrinkly because I brought it to the bathroom to do something.
Admire the art.
Yeah, very intensely. Did you play what Rockstar games have you played?
I've played Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 4, 5. I tried playing San Andreas, but I stopped halfway.
On PS4?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There was a, or I think it was Xbox 360.
Yeah, the controls for those older games are definitely a relic of the time, accelerating with the X button.
Yeah. I remember playing GTA with you, though. I think we were playing it.
San Andreas had a multiplayer mode.
Yeah. I remember we changed our character models, played around with the jetpack, and spawned in the jets and just fucking around.
If I remember, it wasn't even split screen. It was just
No.
same screen.
We can't run away too far away from each other.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. PS2, we had 3 GTA games, and then PS3, we had 2 GTA games. I mean, we had Red Dead Redemption, but that was Rockstar San Diego.
Mhm.
I think they're still going by that nomenclature. The main team who does the GTA games are Rockstar North. When Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, that was actually done by Rockstar North, I believe, not San Diego. Or maybe San Diego helped out with it, but they weren't the lead. I don't remember. And then for PS4, we didn't get any GTA. We got a GTA port, but that originally came out on the previous generation. And then we did get Red Dead Redemption, but that took a long time. I mean, it was delayed by almost a year, I think, at least once. But now with the new consoles coming out, it'll be nice to see what they have in the oven.
I really hope that him leaving doesn't change any, or doesn't affect the creative process for any future games. Because he says he was the head writer on games like Bully, Red Dead Redemption, and RDR2.
Oh, really? He was the
Yeah.
head writer? Does it mention Sam Hauser,
Yeah. Before a bit.
but not as a lead writer?
Yeah, it doesn't mention what he did. Just mentioned that he was his brother.
Okay, well, if he's not a lead writer there, then the difference the newer games that they come out with could be noticeable, whether it be good or bad.
Hey, did the article, does it ever mention why he left? I've been reading through it and it's just nuts.
Hey, if you've been working somewhere since 1998 and it's 22 years later, even if it's at the biggest game studio, one of the biggest studios in the world, maybe you just want to, what do you call those drinks with the fucking umbrella toothpicks on them? Drink one of those at
Pina
Hawaii.
coladas.
Yeah, sip on one of those. I don't know though. Do you see if it mentions anything of him? What does it sound like to you? Does it sound like he's leaving the industry?
Uh,
That's what I'm curious about. Actually, I would assume he's leaving the industry. Two things, because why would you leave? I mean, yeah, you could be tired of it, but something as big as Rockstar, I feel like that's an exception. You gotta stay there and just keep working on really high quality things. And two, is that his brother is still there.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, they're brothers. That's not to assume that they're close, but I'm assuming they're close. Who knows? I mean, it's possible they had a falling out, which I doubt. Maybe they just have different views, and Sam Hauser wants to stay, Dan Hauser wants to retire or work on something new.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's a quote he said that I'm really focusing on. It's really unclear what we would even do with GTA 6, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did. Both intense liberal progression and intense conservatism are both very militant and very angry. I don't like that. I hope they don't tame the games just because of that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if their balls are as big as the South Park creators.
Yeah, because I've always enjoyed Red Dead and GTA just for how crazy you can get, how out there off the rails it can sometimes get. Not as much as Saints Row, but still, they still did some funny and ridiculous stuff.
I only remember Saints Row 3. I didn't really play much of 4, but
Oh, I played 3 and 4.
from what I hear, 3 is better of 4 and Get Out of Hell.
It is.
Actually, Saints Row 4 was recently announced to be coming to Switch.
4 is just weird. It's 3 with a lot of add-ons.
Yeah, seems like it's a lot of superhero stuff.
It is. I'd prefer 3. You feel more like a gangster. That's just really badass.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. This pretty much guarantees that their first game of the new generation is going to be a. I wonder if he's worked on anything, any ideas that they're going to keep from Dan Hauser.
I still hope for a Bully 2.
Yeah, everyone seems to hope for a Bully 2. I've never played that game.
It's fun. Then again, I understand people. I understand it's the main story is just you're a bully. You're going to be a dick to people, but come on.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do smaller titles like that. Because Red Dead Redemption 2, that was no indie game.
No, it was not.
So for February 5th, this is definitely not as big as Dan Hauser leaving Rockstar, but I really like this. This stood out to me when I saw this on my Twitter feed. It's this game called A Space for the Unbound. And actually, I don't even know if it's made by Indonesian people, but it is a game set in rural Indonesia.
Correctamundo. I saw the
If
trailer.
have you seen The Raid?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've seen Indonesian people and how they talk, they look and speak in their language. They look like Filipinos and their language sounds like Tagalog.
Hmm.
Similar. Yeah, there's a demo that I still haven't gotten around to that I want to try out. Free demo on Steam.
I actually want to try that too.
It's the art style is this pixel art, so you shouldn't have a hard time with your computer running it.
Laptop, don't fail me.
Made by I have never heard of this studio, Mojikin Studio, and then
Nope.
published by Toge Productions. Yeah, A Space for the Unbound will tackle themes of anxiety, depression, and childhood friendship that will likely pull at your heartstrings. Very curious about that.
I am too. I'm really interested that it's a point and click thing, so.
Oh yeah, you really liked Primordia recently.
Correct. I'm on the point and click craze.
So next day, February 6th, it was announced that Switch production was delayed in Japan due to, I know that the Animal Crossing themed Nintendo Switches that were being produced for the Japanese market, those were delayed. The pre-orders for those were delayed because I think the manufacturers for that region had some sort of coronavirus what do you call it, concerns.
You okay there?
Yeah, I just got the coronavirus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, apparently the pre-orders have been Closed. I'm not really up to date on this, but it should still be coming out in Japan on the planned March 13th release. This coronavirus thing is weird. First off, it's the same name of a beer.
That is weird. Why is it even named coronavirus? Did you know why? Is the first patient zero named Corona?
I haven't bothered to look it up yet because it's hasn't been relevant to me. Although I have heard of a few cases in the Bay Area
Mm-hmm.
of people popping up with it who have been quarantined.
Huh.
Yeah. When I read that headline, I was thinking, "Oh my God, are they gonna fucking do something with my pre-order, delay it, or maybe even cancel it?" Because actually, if you try to pre-order that Animal Crossing Switch console now, you can't because it's just sold out. So I'm glad I'm always checking Twitter, see if anything pops up. That was a really good time. Although there was this one time when I went to sleep at around midnight, and then at around 1 o'clock a.m., people were tweeting out this price error that Target had, and it was the new Yoshi game. Well, not really new now, but maybe a year old or something. Yoshi's Crafted World, I think. And the digital version was priced at $1 on
Nice.
Target's website. And then by the time I woke up at maybe 9 o'clock, it was already fixed. But apparently people had their orders honored, probably before Target caught wind of it.
That's pretty
And
dope.
then, huh?
I said that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, $1. I'll buy that for a fucking dollar. And now you can even see digital versions of Yoshi's Crafted World on eBay for something like $26. People definitely flipping them.
Not a bad flip.
All right. And oh yeah, also Outer Worlds on Switch delayed due to the coronavirus as well. Remember how we were talking, I think it was last episode, about how the release date wasn't something like the beginning of March? And we haven't even seen any footage yet. And now it makes sense now. It makes sense that it was delayed because if you have a release date and it's a month out and you haven't seen anything of the game, not even a CG trailer, it's fucking getting delayed. But it was originally announced for that release date, and then the physical copy was just the case with a download code. So you wouldn't even get a cartridge in it if you wanted to buy the physical version.
Weird.
Then with the announcement of the delay, they've said that it's now going to come on a physical cartridge.
Huh.
And moving on, we have talking about Switch still. This really stands out to me. 30% of Switch Lite owners already own a Switch.
I was curious about that.
So I'm reading through this financial report for their investors.
Switch Lite, it's just a handheld, right? No plug into a TV. It's just
It's just the handheld. It's a little smaller because it's the handheld, and it's $200 instead of $300. Okay, so
what's the point then if you have a Switch already?
well, I don't know, but 30% of the Switch Lite owners already have one.
I'm wondering what the reasoning is, because if you have a Switch, it could already be a handheld. And
Have you held the Switch Lite?
no, I have not.
Okay, the one I got for Kara, when I was setting it up for her, I was downloading the games for her before I gave it to her. I held it, and it is a huge difference holding the Switch Lite and the regular Switch. Yeah, the regular Switch is a handheld as well, but the Switch Lite is even better as a handheld. Even though the screen is smaller, it just because your hands are not, unless you're the Hulk, your hands are Imagine, so you know how everyone is on their phone all the time?
Hmm.
Imagine being on your phone all the time and it's the size of a Nintendo Switch.
That's
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
So like the lights just feels more portable and more easier grip. It fits better in
Yeah,
the hand.
absolutely.
All
It
right.
it's just it just feels great in your hands. The only concern I have is I don't know if you've heard of the Joy-Con controllers drifting.
I think you've mentioned it before, but go on.
Yeah, it's just this hardware issue that you're not even moving the stick, but then you'll see your character slightly walking. And it's actually very common, or I don't know how common, but common enough to where even if your Switch is out of warranty, Nintendo, at least in the US, will let you send it in and they'll repair it for free.
Hmm.
That's how common it is.
Wow.
And so my concern with the Switch Lite is since the Joy-Con are actually a part of the console itself,
Hmm.
what happens if the Switch Lite has the same problem? Those are $200 Joy-Cons. Yeah, I'm really excited to see other colors for it. Right now there's the blue, which I got Kara, the yellow and the gray.
I just don't like the color yellow. So yeah.
I didn't like it at first. When we first saw the colors, I really liked the gray the most, but I actually am starting to like the yellow now.
Really?
Yeah. The blue one, definitely not for me. I don't think the blue one's ugly, but it's not for me. When I
Mm.
saw the yellow, I actually did think it was ugly. Which one would you get?
Gray.
Yeah, and then they also have that Pokemon one. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
It's either the left side is light blue and the right side is this kind of light pink. And it's the Pokemon one because the two
Hmm.
different versions, that's the color of each one.
That's
And then the console I think is white/gray, and then the buttons on the left side are blue, and then the buttons on the right side are pink, or the other way around.
okay. I pulled up a picture. I'm looking at it right now.
Or you could Google it.
Yeah, the Pokemon one looks fun.
I wouldn't want that one though because it screams a little too much that it's Pokemon. I
True.
like the Animal Crossing one because even though it has a design on the back, it's a subtle design.
Yeah, it's
But the
generic.
Pokemon one, doesn't it just have a fucking Pokemon on it? I gotta see. Pokemon Switch Lite.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it has on the back
The drawing.
decals. Yeah. Animal Crossing comes out March 20th. That's about a month and 10 days.
Apparently, according to this article, the reason people got a Switch Lite, even though they owned a Switch, was because they played Pokemon on handheld systems and they wanted to play it.
Yeah, I read that part. I wonder how they know that. Was it from, I'm assuming it's from a survey,
Yeah,
but that's only taking into account the people who took the time to do the survey.
that's also true. It also said women were purchasing the Switch Lite as their first Switch console.
Oh yeah. Speaking of people with not big hands, women have smaller hands than us.
Well, that is true. But
Yeah, I wonder in a world where we could go back in time and compare, what would sell more, the Animal Crossing Switch Lite or an Animal Crossing regular Switch?
hmm, maybe the Switch Lite. The Animal Crossing isn't a game that really demands a TV screen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, originally came out on the DS, so maybe a Switch Lite would actually.
No, it originally came out on the N64.
That far? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came out on the N64. I think it was called Nobotsu no Mori.
Okay, that's why I never heard
And
it.
in that version, when it was ported to the West, it was ported to the GameCube, not the N64.
Yeah, I remember there was a version on GameCube. I didn't know it was so back forward to the N64 days. Jeez.
Well, the N64 and the GameCube one, they're the same game. I mean, they're
Oh,
the
okay.
same game. Maybe they have slight bonuses added on, but they're the same game.
But yeah, I remember playing Animal Crossing on the DS, and It felt like it didn't need that much screen size, considering you can get by with the amount
With
of.
2 screens.
Yeah, and the upper screen's just nothing but the air and the clouds, and sometimes a present's floating by and you slingshot it, but.
Oh yeah, I forgot. And then when they brought it to 3DS, they put the player on the upper screen.
Oh,
So they switched it.
well, yeah, but so the upper screen didn't really need much. Like, you didn't need the upper screen. You could just deal with what you got.
Wait, so you were really playing on the touch? Your character was on the bottom screen on the DS?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember that.
just the first one.
I do think of Animal Crossing as a handheld game because
Yeah.
you know how the time the in-game clock is the real world clock,
Hmm.
and that means you could really just play that game on any occasion, and including when you're not at home.
Hey, there's an event at 4 o'clock. I won't be home at 4 o'clock, but I can take my Switch or Switch Lite with me, and boom.
Yeah. If you had a Switch, would you buy it?
Hell yeah. Oh wait, we're talking about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. If I had a
Yeah.
Switch, hell yeah, I would buy a Switch Lite. Make that 31%.
No, no, no. If I had a Switch, I would just buy Animal Crossing. I wouldn't buy a Switch Lite.
I wish you had a Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could visit each other's towns and I could drop a drop an apple somewhere. I was gonna what's the closest thing
Drop an
that looks
apple.
like a poop? A coconut. Yeah, I'll drop a coconut, a brown coconut. No, the coconuts are more like olive green, actually.
Still, just be a random fruit in front of my doorway. I trip over it.
Okay, so I know you don't have a Switch, but have you been following Animal Crossing any bit?
Not as much, really.
Because there's some cool ass fucking things you could do in the new one. You could craft, you could place your furniture outside. Hell yeah, dude. That's a game changer. And you know how your town was split by a little river?
Hmm.
Well, you can actually fucking pole vault over the water to the other side.
Actually, that's pretty useful. I remember always being annoyed at finding the bridge and just be like, I gotta jog to this spot.
I remember resetting the I don't know if this was with Wild World, but with the 3DS version, you could just keep shuffling through map layouts. And I always wanted one where the shop was close to a bridge because I'd be going there
Hmm.
really often to sell my expensive bugs or expensive sharks for those bells.
Uh, no, I wasn't in Wild World.
Damn, so you were stuck with whatever you got?
Yep. The only thing that would be ever different would be the fruit in Wild World. The default fruit for the trees. I remember you like when I forgot if yeah, I think it was during the DS days. You were like, "Hey, what fruit do you have?" I have peach. Okay, I'm gonna visit your world, and you could plant a peach tree, so I can have peaches or something.
Yeah, so it was like a little trading thing like Pokemon. They should really, I don't think they're doing this, but it would be nice if they really expanded on it by putting in a shitload of fruit, like grapes and other fruit as well. That would be cool because that would really encourage trading.
I'm still waiting for them to put some type of cooking.
I wonder if you could cook because you could craft, so maybe you could cook too. Because
Yeah,
crafting is the cooking of stone and wood in a way.
you put a little seasoning, put a little gold, make it look pretty.
I haven't been really this feeling of waiting for Animal Crossing is similar to how I used to wait for Christmas to come when I was a little kid. I'm so excited for that game. Do you think you'll get a Switch someday?
In the future, not the near future. I'm pretty satisfied with the PS4 and my laptop.
What games are you interested in that catch your eye?
in the Switch.
Yeah, that are only on the Switch.
Breath of the Wild, obviously. That's definitely one.
Breath of the Wild 2 coming out as well.
Maybe a Mario game. Thinking either Odyssey or Party.
Definitely Odyssey.
Besides that, I haven't really given it that much thought. I just know Breath of the Wild was one of those games. Uh,
Animal Crossing, of course.
yeah, that's true. Animal Crossing is also on the board. Yeah, that's about it.
They have some Tales games on it. They should re-release Tales of Symphonia on the Switch.
Oh, Tales. I remember getting stuck on one part. Like a dungeon. I didn't grind up enough time.
Moving on to the last piece. So back in August of last year, it was announced that Insomniac joined Sony as a first party studio,
Ooh,
which they basically already were, because from the beginning they've been working on Spyro, Ratchet and Clank. What else have they done?
Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, they did Spider-Man as well. And they made a few games that were not on PlayStation or that were third multi-platform, but I've always saw them as a first party studio.
They also made Resistance.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, on PS3. Those three fucking games. We finally know how much they were bought for, and it's 229 million.
not a bad deal.
And I'm reading this gamesindustry.biz article. According to a filing made today with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the acquisition of the studio cost 229 million, paid out mainly in cash.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you read the link on here, it straight up says it. All of this legal talk, so much.
Well, a lot of money.
Yeah, it should be noted that a bunch of the other multi-platform games they're making were VR games.
Hmm.
I've never played any of them because I don't think any of them even came to PSVR. I mean, I think they were doing deals with Oculus and they were just making Oculus games. Oh yeah, they released the Ratchet and Clank on PS4 as well. I'm sure we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Ratchet and Clank as a launch game for PS5.
That would be pretty cool.
I mean, I'm not a particular fan of them, but I know people like them, and it does look like a nice game that fills out a kind of lacking corner of Sony's portfolio. Because now they're just doing these third-person action narrative games. But
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank seems like an easy game to make in a relatively short amount of time. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a launch title.
I'm also not a fan of Ratchet and Clank, but I did play the latest one, and I think I played one on the PS2 as well. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the shooting mechanics. I enjoyed the beat 'em up feel. The humor's also kind of funny.
The cool thing about the recent game was that it came out at sub $60. I think it was $40 that it came out as.
hmm
But I saw the fucking Ratchet and Clank movie
hmm
that came out, I think, a little before or after that game. Oh my god. Oh, that's a movie you should watch because it's so fucking bad that it's pretty enjoyable.
I think I watched it already. I watched the movie and then I played the game, or the other way around. I forgot which one. The game's more fun.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'd rather watch a fucking playthrough of the game than the movie. Yeah, speaking of playthroughs, we can talk about what we're playing. And I'm just playing my Nintendo Switch. So I finished SteamWorld Dig 2, like I said, I think last episode, and then I started up SteamWorld Heist. Have you heard of that game?
Heard of it? No, I have not.
Okay. It's actually one of the games I have on Steam, SteamWorld.
Yeah.
It's one of the games I have on Steam. It's a 2D game, so you should be able to run that. And it's basically XCOM in 2D, but it's not set on the So SteamWorld Dig is set on a planet, but SteamWorld Heist is set in outer space. And you play as this robot named Piper. I like her character design a lot more than the SteamWorld Dig ones. And you basically have a crew. You can hire other crew members based on your reputation. Some of them are good at close range combat and they'll have more health, or others will have lower health, but they're better for long range. And it's called SteamWorld Heist because you're going around other ships, you're boarding other ships, and you're stealing you're stealing their water.
Oh.
The complaint I have about it though is that the AI is pretty fucking stupid. They sometimes walk around the map and then they shoot at something that's clearly not me. Or oh, it's really funny because when you get one tile, when you get to the tile that's right next to the enemy, same for them. They could do this to you too. Instead of shooting you, they can melee you. And then the game also has these barrels around every map that you can use as cover.
Hmm.
And so I was hiding behind a barrel, and then the AI just walked up to the other side of the barrel because the barrel takes up a tile. And then he just went up to it and whacked it. And because the game is a turn-based game, it was just funny because he whacked it, and then we were just there staring at each other after he destroyed the barrel. But I've been playing that game. I played that game actually on PS Vita, but I only played for maybe an hour or so because I kept dying on this one level. But playing on the Switch now, I have passed that level, and now I'm basically in it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I also got back into Smash. Still playing Mewtwo. I've been watching this one guy named Not Bae, Bae on
Yeah.
YouTube, and he's a Mewtwo main, and he has these really cool videos on how to maximize his Mewtwo's kit when you're fighting people, or what to do in certain situations. Because Mewtwo, he's not a top tier, which I like because using a top tier character, are you gonna when you're in a race, are you gonna run around the track, or are you gonna fucking wait there at the finish line and pretend like you got there first?
So it adds a level of challenge.
Yeah, because there are some characters that are clearly better than others. Like Little Mac, no one is gonna fucking use him if they want to win at a tournament. But Mewtwo, I'd say in the better half of the roster, but he still has some issues with him. So I like that because if I use Mewtwo and then I beat someone who is using a character that's clearly a higher tier than Mewtwo, and also has advantages over Mewtwo that take advantage of Mewtwo's weaknesses, that's really rewarding because I beat that person, just in spite of those things.
You beat him with pure skill instead of the underlying advantages that the character has.
Yep.
I get that.
And then I also am playing Ring Fit Adventure every few days. I actually got this game maybe a month and a half ago, and it's basically an RPG that you play physically because it comes
Yeah,
with this.
I saw the trailer before we set up.
Have you seen anything before that?
No, I heard it mentioned a couple of times. Some people made some parodies, but besides that, I haven't actually seen gameplay of it. I mean, I saw the trailer now, but
It's a really active game because you put the Joy-Con, you put one of the Joy-Cons in the ring, and the ring is actually a controller. It's not just a shell. So you put the Joy-Con in the ring, and then you put the other Joy-Con in a leg strap. And so that's how it can tell what you're doing with your body. It's using the two Joy-Cons in relationship to each other and how if they're laying flat, you know, that's
yeah.
how it tells how you're doing the exercises. And basically, it's an RPG. You have stats and everything, and there are monsters that, let's say there's a blue monster and a green monster. The blue monsters will take more damage if you attack them with a blue attack. and the blue attacks are squats. The red attacks are things that focus on your pectoral muscles, and it'll do bonus damage if you do the same color. So it's a nice little active RPG.
How far do you take it? Do you like seriously exercise, or did you put it on the low setting just to get through the game?
Well, at first I started at the low setting, but every time you start it up, it asks you how you're feeling, if you're up, if you want to make things a little bit harder. And that's what I've been doing each time. Because at first I
Ooh,
wasn't sweating, but now
you're sweating.
I'm sweating not a lot, but I'm definitely exerting myself.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Some of the moves that you have to do for all the attacks seem pretty exerting.
Yeah, the most exerting ones to me are the squats. But the thing about the ring is that it has resistance on it. So if you try to squeeze it in, you can't just squeeze it in like a pillow. It has a good amount of resistance. And there's also these mini games too that you could play, kind of like that. Wasn't there a soccer game in one of the Wii on the Wii where you're basically headbutting soccer balls into a goalpost?
I do not remember.
Okay, well, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I saw that. It's called Quick Play or whatever. That game looks really loaded. Yeah, like when I saw the trailer, there was just not only do you have the adventure game mode, where it's just the RPG with the attacks, but there's also so many mini games.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
It feels like a really good game because there's just so much in it.
Yeah. And you can even make spinach smoothies to regain
Yeah, I saw
health.
that too. Yeah, that game feels loaded. It feels like a good game to come if it was just like a starter game if you bought the Switch.
And they mentioned that in the financial report as well. That's been a good part of the success of the Switch. And I think I remember seeing some sort of article saying that in Japan, there's actually
Hmm.
been shortages of the Ring Fit. I don't know if that's also due to the coronavirus, but I know
Oh my
it's
god.
really popular in Japan, the Ring Fit Adventure.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's what I'm playing. I do want to try that Space for the Unbound demo. I want to finish SteamWorld Heist, and I don't know what I'm gonna play after that. I'm probably still gonna be playing Smash. I know that once Animal Crossing comes out, I'm probably just gonna be fucking playing that all the fucking time. So in the meantime, I'm not sure what I'm gonna play. I do want to play something though. Oh, did you see the Valentine's Day event for Apex?
I did not.
Yeah, it's not as big as the Grand Soiree, but
Ah,
it's basically just duos, Valentine's.
yeah.
Duos mode, and then the skins from some of the skins from last Valentine's event, which
Oh,
are just gun skins and then a charm. There's no legend skins,
oh.
I don't
Well,
think.
Gunskins is still pretty cool.
Yeah, we should do duos.
All right.
So, what have you been playing
I've been playing the Samorost trilogy.
from beginning to end?
Yes, from beginning to end. From the Flash game to the longer second game to the very nice third game.
Oh, you really like the third game?
I really did. I liked the theme they chose, which was music.
I didn't realize they have themes.
Well, the first and second one didn't really have themes. It was just kind of a weird garbage based. I don't know if that's the right word. It was weird. It's like some of the
It's a
items
trash
you
game,
come.
huh?
No, it's just some of the items you come in contact were just plain garbage, which is weird. Like
Uh,
one was a can, one was like a bottle, and you had to cut it up to make a spaceship. I don't
what the fuck? That sounds kind of cute.
Yeah, it's like a weird game, but it's fun. In the third game, they really focused on music. Like the point of the first thing you come in contact with in the game is a trumpet, like a magic trumpet, which you use to listen to yeah, which you use to listen to sounds and songs around the world, and that's how you come across a story and how they also answer some of the puzzles.
You use it to listen?
Yeah, it's just like a yellow horn, not really in the shape of a trumpet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, some of the rewards for some of the puzzles were songs, which I actually found entertaining and addicting. Some of the side stuff, just you finish the puzzle, matching up stuff, and then you hear a song from the environment that you're currently in.
And then can you replay them?
Yes, that's what I did. Like the first song I came across that I really liked, I just kept solving the puzzle over and over again just to hear the song again. It's nice. I like the music that they came up with.
I remember playing Samorost 3 a little bit, but I don't remember what it sounds like. The closest
It's
thing
worth
I
it.
it reminds me of those tree creatures in Legend of Zelda.
Uh, Damn, what are
The
those
the
things called?
Koroks.
The Koraki
The
village?
no, the Koroks. You pick
Oh,
up their seeds.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have this kind of music where they have maracas and stuff. Is that how it sounds
Yeah,
like?
it's something like that. I mean, like the first puzzle I solved was like a lizard thing. I had to match notes on the sort of plant to make them sing a certain note. And once you finish it, they start beatboxing and like freaking. It was awesome. They just started beatboxing and doing harmonies, and I just stated it. Your character even does a little dance animation. I'm like, yeah, I feel you, protagonist. I feel you. The second one was a choir of termites. And the third was cicadas doing freaking violins hardcore. I really like the music of Samorost 3. I really do.
Yeah, I like the music in Machinarium as well. The game from the same studio. You
Yeah, this
played that,
studio's
right?
really good at. Yeah, I played Macroname on yours computer. Actually, took a while. I underestimated how long that game's going to be.
So you finished them?
Yeah, I finished the Samorost trilogy. The only gripe I have with the Samorost thing was that you couldn't skip the transition from area to area, and some of them are actually pretty long. Funny in the first time, but when you have to go back for the solution, it gets kind of eh.
I'm sure that's on purpose because that game would probably be a lot shorter if you could.
That's true. Yeah, music in Samorost 3, favorite.
Between each game, is it an actual narrative?
Yes, some things carry over, but the story isn't closely connected. Like the first one, you're trying to prevent a meteor from hitting your planet. The second one, you're trying to rescue your dog who got kidnapped. And the dog does make a cameo in 3, but it's not really essential to the story.
Do you play as the same character?
Yes, always the gnome. He does get redesigned between games, though. He's always the same color white, and he always has the same human face. But in 3, you don't see his mouth, and it's kind of covered up. What else? Oh, I've also played Gunpoint. That was fun.
Are you still playing it?
No, I finished it.
Oh, so what is it? Is that a narrative game too?
Yes, but only between missions. You can choose dialogue options which would affect the progress of missions and whether or not you gain a level or not, or gain an extra bonus mission or not.
Did you go after the bonus missions?
I tried.
Have you been trying to get any of the achievements for any of the games?
Samorost, I completely got all the achievements because it's worth it, and the reward is again songs. So I was interested in what those would be, and plus they're really easy. The Samorost trilogy
Mm-hmm.
achievements because all you really have to do is explore, click whatever seems interesting, and you end up doing a puzzle.
Yeah, those games. So I think the developers Amanita Design,
Hmm.
they do adventure games that they seem different to me than other games where the puzzles are not really that hard and you're just really there for this interactive picture book.
I agree, especially since I've also played Botanicula. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Botanicula, I think.
There you go. Yeah, Botanicula. The puzzles were not that hard. A little bit of gamer skill, but nothing that hard.
Gamers.
Yeah, because one of the puzzles was like a game of Snake,
Oh my god.
except with the mouse. You had to run away from a thing, and you get stuck in the on the walls if you get too close. That was,
You mean the mouse as in the computer thing?
you know, that old mouse game where if you touch the walls enough times, a scary picture comes at your face.
No, I don't know that.
Oh, you don't? That was a classic.
Was
Point
it a
is,
Flash
yeah,
game?
it was a Flash game. Point is, yeah, it was just me keeping the mouse steady and fast at the same time so I don't get caught by the monster trying to get it back. And it was a freaking intricate maze.
What game? Botanicula? I wonder how that would work if they put it on console.
It would not work. Uh, yeah, I don't think it would work because a lot of the puzzles require a cursor.
Well, can't they just do D-pad?
That's the thing. Like, remember when I told you about the puzzle where you would get stuck in the walls if you would touch it? I feel like that would be. I don't know. If they're able to convert it into a console, then yeah, you could run it on a. I'm only concerned about that one puzzle.
All right, so you're playing Gunpoint.
Finished Gunpoint, finished Samorost trilogy, and I just finished Botanicula today. So
Yeah, that's another short one, right?
yes and no. It's short in the terms of the story isn't that long, and there is only 5 levels. It's long because the area that you have to keep traversing is actually pretty big. There's a lot of screens, is what I'm trying to say. In in Primordia, I actually only have to traverse maybe 15, 20 screens.
Mm-hmm.
I think Botanicula is like 35 or 40.
Which one has more detail in it?
Detail how?
More, you could tell that they just had to spend more time making the background.
Primordia, probably. Because they had to like cram an environment which you would constantly keep coming back to. So, there's robots in the background, items in the background you had to. But
Well, it seems like it evened out then.
yeah. Botanicula is just, it's pretty. Naturistically pretty and funny. Plus, there was a level which had a cameo of all the other games they made, which I thought was awesome. Yeah, it showed a Machinarium cameo, a Samorost cameo. What else? I think there was 2 other games I didn't recognize, but it showed Samorost and Machinarium, so I was just like, oh, that's pretty neat.
They have a game that came out on Apple Arcade, and it was exclusive to it for a while, but I think it's on PC now.
That might be one of the other 2 games that was cameoed. I didn't really recognize it.
Did it look like some pilgrim dude?
I think so.
Because that's what it was.
I just thought it was neat. A little cameo puzzle.
Wow, it's called Pilgrims.
Yeah, I might just play Machinarium one more time because I'm enjoying their type of point and click adventure.
Anything else you're playing?
Nah, I do have Gemini Rue installed on my laptop, but I haven't started yet.
I think that's the same publisher from Primordia.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely a different vibe.
Different vibe indeed. Uh, Botanicula, Samorost were kind of like cute, cartoony, just more, yeah, arcadey-ish. I don't know.
Oh, and then they have another game that's yet to be released called Creaks. Creaks as in the floor creaking.
Huh.
This one looks darker than all their other games.
Botanicula, they actually did show some blood.
Oh, what?
It wasn't a main part, it was like a little side thing. It was like a weird puppet theater, and then it showed scenes of them killing. There was some blood.
I just saw some screenshots. It just looks like a darker atmosphere than something like Machinarium.
Yeah, that's all I played. I'm actually kind of curious what the next game of. I know Gunpoint. The people who made Gunpoint made another game called. You put it here already. Here. Heat Signature.
Oh yeah, I have that game.
Yeah, that's. I'm putting them on the back burners after Gemini Rue, Machinarium, and then I'll play Heat Signature.
That game is well liked. Heat Signature. I feel like you would like that game.
I don't doubt it. I mean, Gunpoint was a cool puzzler. The only thing I have about gripe about it is the AI isn't that smart. Because there are times where I knocked out policemen in front of them and they just kept walking over their bodies. I'm like, okay, you're heartless. Okay. I smashed the door in front of a guard. Another one walked by, walked over his body. I was expecting him to come down and be panicked or something, but nope. But I do like the mechanics of the game. It's fun. It's realistic, and it does keep me on my toes because I did keep making mistakes, and I was just like, shit.
Have you played Mark of the Ninja?
I have not. It is on your list, though.
That's a stealth game. That's 2D, really fun. I don't know why Gunpoint reminded me of it, but it did.
The main thing I liked about Gunpoint, though, was the rewiring of wires.
Oh yeah, I remember that aspect of it. That game is so old.
Yeah. But I barely had to make 2 steps before going through the whole map, rewiring all their shit, and literally just walking by them because they couldn't see me because the lights were off or something like that.
That video game cone vision.
Yeah. There were several situations where I was hanging on the ceiling, like climbing above them, making sure they don't. Honestly, for an old game, it was pretty good. I mean, there was situations where I didn't think other people would thought of, like when you're hanging off the side of under a door, and you go left or right, you instantly cling to the wall to the left so you don't, fall off. You could notice the guards or something like that.
Oh, that sounds like good design.
Yeah, a lot of good design in that game. Anyway, yeah, I'm done.
All right. Did you have anything else? Anything you saw that you want to talk about?
Nah.
I showed Bree Spirited Away.
Nice.
Yeah, we watched it in Japanese.
Oh, I never watched that movie subbed, only dubbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Ghibli movies are typically they have good English dubs.
Yeah, it's like the first time I ever watched it was dubbed, so I just accepted the dub version. I think I've only accepted the dub version of Ghibli movies now that I think about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of them, but when I do watch one for the first time from now on, it's always sub.
Uh,
Do you remember the soot that were brought to life by the four-armed man?
oh yeah, what about it?
Yeah, she thought it was really cute when they were getting fed those little colorful marshmallows, or the big spoiled baby who got turned into a mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's really cute. I wonder what was the purpose of No Face though? I know he was there to test her, but I wonder what's the purpose of him staying with her afterwards.
I don't know either. I forgot what it was, but I know he just got corrupted by something. But he is the everyone's fan favorite, No Face. The one thing I remember about that movie is that the food looks so freaking good.
Oh yeah.
Like when the parents got pigged out and turned into pigs, like the food they're eating, I'm like, oh my god, give me some of that.
Yeah. I like how much detail they make in the fucking food and anime.
It's mouth-watering, dude.
All right, well this has been episode 4 of Pure Inward. My name is John Sunyo, and then thank you Derek for joining me again.
Always.
We gotta play some Apex maybe tomorrow or sometime this week while the duos is going on.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyone listening, that one person listening, thank you and have a good night.
Hmm.
A good day. A good
Have a good
dawn.
life.
Good Far Cry New Dawn. Good
Yes.
one up. If you have a one up, have a good life.
Aha.
If you have a VR headset, have a good Half-Life Alex.
Aha.
All right. Good night, Derek.
Good night, man.